It's a love-hate for sure. Oops. 2 out for that. Okay. All right, what are our rebirth effects for Vessel? We have no life gain synergy because we passed the Witch, which is literally the best payoff for that. We have sacrifice stuff with Priest. We have Blood for Bones with Rebirth if we want it. I'm not sure we do though. It's a pretty weak card. Do I just play it? I'm not sure I slam Elspeth's Nightmare. It has really limited targets here. So I don't mind our 3 recursive creatures: Dread Wanderer, Skeleton, and and Shade is pretty nice. I don't hate our 2 mana ramp spells. Although it would be nice to have some cards that we play on 4 mana, huh? Are we playing red? We don't actually have all that much red fixing. I mean, we have the ability to cast a splash red card, like Tybalt, but casting double red on this mana base is going to be rough. Now, clearly we don't need fucking planes in this deck, so don't even think about that, chat. But so the payoff cards on red are actually Phoenix and Chandra, which are pretty damn good for us. There's also some removal if we end up playing it, but we have a lot of removal in this deck already. We didn't hit the mono black payoff cards though. The mono black decks don't seem to do very well with me without the Witch of the Moors. So rebirth effects are just the Blood for Bones. So this 1/1 gets pretty weak. No Loris. We don't have to play these accelerants, but we probably want to. I guess Cold Steel Heart fixes red too, which is kind of nice. I mean, we have good creatures to sack for Priest. We have recurring creatures, so Priest is fine. We'll play it. It's going to get removed. It's just like a Mana Dork. It just instantly gets bolted because it's so powerful. I don't hate playing Village Rites when we have creatures that come back. We're 8 cards out here. We don't have a million double blacks, although we do have some. Poison the Cup really isn't, and Murderous Rider can wait. So we can put mountains in this deck and be okay. Chandra and Phoenix as additions to this deck are actually very strong additions. They're both high power level. We're kind of struggling for good cards to put in here. I might just play enough mountains to play them. It sucks they're double reds, but they are 2 very powerful red cards. I actually think Egon has some synergy in this deck. Throne of Death is reasonable for us. Not amazing, because the cards that we want to put in our graveyard are the recurring cards. Resembling Skeleton and Dread Wanderer really don't get us something early, although Shade does. So milling them is fine. It is emergency draw too, which is okay. I think we play Feed with the idea of having some enchantment hate. I think Dreadhorde Invasion makes this deck every time with Priest. And just like a recurring body, right? It generates there. So the question is, what else comes into this deck? Is Fatal Push playable? I mean, there's a lot of cheap stuff we would like to remove. It's CMC 2 or less, and if we lose a card, it's CMC 4 or less. That seems good enough to play. How many pieces of removal is that, though? It's Poison, Murderous Rider. Mythos isn't in here yet? Or is it? It's a 3-drop, right? Oh, it's in there. Mythos, Sky Sovereign, Kaya, Chandra, Gear Hulk. We have so much removal. I wonder if we don't play Rider. Yeah, we played the red. That's red-white. We played that anyways, I think. This is basically a mountain, right? Is Elspeth's Nightmare good enough? It is removal. It's a 3-drop play. It's mostly colorless. I'm not sure it's good enough. Sometimes it 2-for-1s them, or occasionally does something to their graveyard. I think we play Fatal Push here. So what are we rebirthing with Blood for Bones? The Gear Hulk's a nice rebirth. It's just creatures, right? Yeah. The Phoenix is an okay rebirth. Although presumably if they killed Phoenix, they exiled it anyway, so it's like never gonna rebirth. I guess if we milled it. Archfiend's Vessel, the only synergy we have with Archfiend's Vessel is Blood for Bones. I don't think it's worth playing a 1/1 lifelinker with no other synergies. Hey Nobu, the Giant. Giant likes time. I mean, bringing Valky back from our... I mean, are we playing Valky? I guess we are. We're always playing Tybalt, right? We never actually cast Tybalt. So we're 3 cards in here. I guess Agadeem's is a rebirth too, isn't it? Is that good enough to play Vessel? It's a body that I'm happy to sacrifice. We don't have that many sack outlets though, right? We just basically have the Priest and then Blood for Bones. Gary is okay. It's not exciting. We don't actually have that many black permanents, believe it or not. We have some with like Rider. A lot of our stuff is removal though. Like this is a pretty low creature count right now, right? 9, yeah. Kind of wouldn't mind playing some more creatures. Although Gary doesn't feel like much of a creature. 9 creatures is so low. The problem with this card is I always end up like sitting it in my hand forever and ever and ever. Because I never want to play it on the field because it's a 5-mana 2/4, which can never attack. And then if I don't have huge amounts of devotion, it just doesn't do anything. Like maybe this as a rebirth is good enough. So maybe our last 3 cards are Egon, Blood for Bones, and Gary. We would have liked like a Friction Arena in this deck or something that lets us draw cards. Maybe we can get there with the triple Planeswalkers. Sig? We're not going to have the white sources to play Sigrid, although Sigrid's excellent. White at the stage is harder to play in this deck than it might otherwise be because we don't have any drain effects, so we have to get in with damage, and we don't have that many great attackers. I mean, Priest will trigger it, I guess, if we ever get to activate a Priest. We do have some cheap recurring creatures that they might not want to block, like Skeletons and Dread Wanderers and shit. This is Mana Acceleration. Mana Acceleration is a little bit scary in this deck with no draw, because this means there's 2 more, essentially, Mana Dorks. Although they both do things, kind of. That one fixes red, and this one is a creature later. I don't hate fucking Elspeth's Nightmare here. It's really nice to play against a Mana Dork. And it eats a lot of things in this format. Is that good enough to play? Do we have a way to remove Pact? What is Pact? Our own Pact? Yeah, we have one way. I don't think we have enough ways to play this, right? Could we play Frenzy in this deck? It doesn't really feel like a Frenzy deck, but it could be. Not sure we need the 2 mana accelerants. I think you're wrong. Depends how much draw we get. Like there's plenty of things we want to do in this deck. Village Rites is draw too, I guess. If our plan is to make the game small, then Frenzy is good. What does that mean, make the game small? You mean plays a lot of white creatures? We don't have a lot of small drops here, if that's what you're referencing. I'm just trying to figure out how we get card advantage out of this deck. Maybe we can, I mean, we could play Deemworthy as cycling for a little bit of card advantage, but it's really slow and we have a shit ton of removal. We could play Light Up the Stage. We don't have guaranteed ways to do damage, although we do have some. We've got Evasive Creature, Ghostface, drains them. Some creatures that they might not want to block. Crystalline Giant. So the cards we're considering are Nightmare, Blood for Bones, Light Up the Stage, Egon, I believe are the cards we're considering right now. So we can get 3 of the 4 in. I think we're playing Egon and light up the stage. So the question is, do we want Nightmare or Blood for Bones? Do we have to play this card? I've been super down on this card. So the second form of this is pretty useless. This is card draw, although it eats bodies, and we don't have a lot of bodies, like really not many at all. And the bodies we do have, we don't really want to eat. Like we don't want to eat Shade, Skeleton, or Dreadhorde Invasion, because we want those back. Or excuse me, Dreadwander, I mean. And you have to exile a creature card for that. If they killed Phoenix, they've already exiled it, so that's not a target. So our targets are literally like Giant, Murderous Rider, which doesn't enter your graveyard anyways. It goes to the bottom of your deck. I think we have no targets for this, so I don't think we can make that work. It's a little bit tempting because we have graveyard synergies, so like it's essentially a draw. When it puts the recurring creatures in our graveyard, it's very similar to a draw, right? Because we can cast those from, it's essentially in our hand, right? At worst, you draw a card and pull opponent's removal. The creature side is bad. What do you mean I draw a card and my pull opponent's removal? What's the card I'm drawing? I think it's no to that. I think we're playing these. So this deck runs into trouble when our removal doesn't match the threats and we can't draw enough card advantage to win. Maybe we should play Gary. Is there a world in which we want to play Gary as just like a finisher, especially with recursion? I don't think so. It's like a 2-mana drain. It's a 2-mana 2/4 that does 2 to their face. It's like the most overpriced fucking Vishido Pyromancer we've ever seen. Why Blood for Bone? There's a question about that. The Blood for Bones is a little bit of value. We have plenty of creatures to sack. Pulling back Valky late game is fine because we want to recast it as Tybalt. Rebirthing Gearhulk is fine. Pulling back Phoenix if somehow it's in the graveyard is fine. Pulling back Priest of the Forgotten Gods is often fine. Crystalline Giant is alright. Thanks for the bits, Nason Fashing. But I agree, Blood for Bones is the last card in the deck for a reason, because it's the weakest card that we're adding to this deck. But I don't see a better card in there in the sideboard, right? Like, what is the card we want instead of Blood for Bones? I think Gary is not impactful. I don't think Archfiend's Vessel does a whole lot here. I don't really want another piece of removal. Not really. Maybe it's deem worthy for the cycling, but it doesn't seem great. Gary over light up the stage? No, we're not playing Gary over light up the stage. Okay. You'd play Frenzy. I would never play Frenzy here. Look at this deck. What are we frenzying with this deck? It's a bunch of, and think of the cards you're going to pull off the top, right? So this deck has low creature count, so you don't have permanents that you can just slam onto the board. The converted mana cost of them isn't super low, so you look from here. Like, we have a fair number of 1 and 2s, which is okay, but a bunch that aren't. So the cards we can see on the top, we can see like Village Rites. You just want to randomly fucking sacrifice your dudes. You're going to have a bunch of situational removal that don't really properly match up. Like, if we draw like a Fatal Push on top or like a Blood for Bones on top, these are things we're not going to be play off the top very easily. We're going to be running like, it's just, you're going to have a lot of shit that doesn't work out. You're going to have not a lot of double spells because your mana base doesn't support it. You're not going to have a lot of directly blowout things. You're not going to like stack the board super wide with a bunch of like nice ETB small creatures because all of our shit is situational. It's a really bad Frenzy deck, honestly. All right, so we need mountains in here. We don't need plains. Okay. All right, what is this? This is a black-white duel. That's fine. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10 black sources, which is plenty. Fabled Passage tutors but doesn't tutor. Well, we're not playing a plains, so. Actually, we have 11 black sources. Is that right? Game. Move these things when I tell you to move these things. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 black sources. This is too few red sources. 1, 2, 5. It's actually 12 black sources. Okay, so we're gonna cut swamp, maybe 2 swamp for 2 mountain. This now is 5, 6, 7, 8 red, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black. 1 fixer off cold steel. Options are plains. Don't. It's 2 white sources third off that. It's a lot for not a lot of sources for Kaya. I don't want to play a plains in this deck though, so I'm not going to. Okay. Tried in Truth. Thanks for the sub. Okay. All right. All right. Maybe first once. We'll call this one. And is there any cards that have first or once in their names? No. Okay. This deck seems significantly worse than our last deck, by the way. Maybe Tybalt. I'd like to cast Tybalt one day. Okay. All right, chat. What do you guys think? You have a minute to make your, actually 30 seconds to make your prediction here. Will we get 5 with this? Okay. You get to see the first hand too. You go first. Wow, what an exciting change of pace. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be experiencing this moment with you, chat. The first time today, after 2.5 hours of streaming, that we're gonna go first. That's just amazing. Just really exciting moment. Part of me wants to accelerate out here. We're missing land drop though. I think Dreadhorde Invasion is our most reasonable play. So I'm gonna do it. We'd like to get our next land. We may or may not. We'll see. I can ramp into 2 4 spells if I had done that, but we're no guarantee we draw that land, which would have been nice. Or 2 drops rather. Okay. We're choosing black or white with this. I think it's white. Okay. Can't double spell on black there, which is a bit of a pain. Could have been red too if we draw the red 4 drops, but at the moment we have no reason for, I mean, we have no reason for Kaya either. Maybe it's not good enough, but maybe that should be red. That's what I'm getting at. A little dragon. Yeah. Alright, second land is nice. We're at 5 now. So we cast out Nightmare. Kill his dude. Wouldn't hate the skeleton on board, but I want to get this resolved early so I can see his fucking hand, and I also want to see, I also want to hit it on a target that it hits because it's my most situational piece of removal. Okay. Can Fatal Push if he does some low CMC play too. Maybe this should have been Giant and Fatal Push. That might have been okay too. It's a little bit better mana efficiency, a little bit more aggressive. This only hits creatures, right? Okay. Did he not crack his passage last turn? That's really weird. Okay. Yoink. Okay, so now we know he has pretty good lineup versus the Giant. But he's going to be incentivized to kill that fucking 3/3 before it grows any bigger too. I don't think we can protect it in any way. So I think this is run out Giant, smack him in the face for 3. Okay. Some of the time we just dodge this. That one does not dodge. Trample is not +1/+1 or hexproof, both of which dodge the red removal. But if he spends his turn just casting fucking Skewer, we're in really good shape. Also nice to see the Daredevil. Now we know that cheap removal like Fatal Push is really bad for us to cast here because it will be giving him a very cheap target to remove our zombie. At the moment he's got 2 3/3 threats, one of which is going to become a 4/4 next turn, which kind of pushes it out of range of all his removal. So he's going to be a little incentivized to remove that. He's missing a fuck ton of land drops. Feels bad to be him, but he just hit one. He didn't even scry for it. I feel like he Should have upkeep Scry to hit land there, because he still has 3 drops that he can play if he hits that land. I guess if he missed though, he's screwed. Maybe it's better just to draw naturally. Maybe. Yeah. We're also missing lands? Correct. We're also missing lands. I could just remove this. It is feed the swarm. But this mana has 0, so he could, I mean, the problem is this fucking Dire Fleet is so good versus us right now, right? Like, all my cheap removal is no good here. We lost a permanent. We did lose a permanent. That's right. So we can 1 mana remove this, which isn't terrible. It's not great, though, either. I mean, it lets me get in for 7, but it scripts his turn. He's going to cast Dire Fleet and then Fatal Push my zombie token. Which is kind of rough. But it's quite a bit of damage, and it does remove this. Doesn't hurt it. The CMC of this is 0. So if Dire Fleet steals feed the swarm, it just exiles my removal and kills a zombie for free, which is not fucking great, is it? Alright, but we will do this. Yep, attack with zombie and pass is the other play, but Mangara is actually a huge threat. Its lifelink draws him cards, prevents me from double spelling. It's just a really nasty turn if I just allow it to draw him cards or do stuff there. At the moment, he's got issues with what he does with his mana. So that's the scripted play. It kills my 4/4. We still get in for 4 here, though. Sucks he had that. Maybe we should have taken that over the stupid Sky Sovereign. Maybe that was wrong. Sky Sovereign just seems like such a blowout when he resolves it. His hand was very strong, right? Just mana screwed. That's why it was so strong. There's so many gas cards in it. They're all pretty high quality. Mangara, Sovereign, Daredevil, the rest of it. It's a really bad draw for us. Do we have any creatures in our graveyard? No. Opponent concedes from here, though. That's nice. I'm not sure we would have got there or not. We're missing some reach. Can't take creatures with Nightmare. Oh, good point. Wasn't an option then. Yep. Chat, we went first, and we won the game because we went first. I'm actually, that actually makes me more annoyed, right? Like, if our other deck had had a chance to go first from time to time, we'd still be playing our other deck. It just makes it twice as fucking irritating to be like, oh, it devalues our current win. We're going first again, and makes the other game even more swingy. It's infuriating. Easy triumph. They're all pretty unexciting. But Skeleton in particular is really unexciting. Or Skeleton right now is really unexciting. I'm gonna Guardian Idol. Depending on what he does, we might get an Elsa's Nightmare. Or we might do a Resembling Skeleton plus something else next turn. We'll see. Land here is not good. This card has been dead every time we've drawn it. I hate the low creature count in this card. I don't know what we put in instead. Situational removal. Maybe this just becomes Gary. Just for something. With no sack payoffs, like no Immersion Predator. We just have the one with the, whatever it is. Dude, Can you cast a creature and not have 1 mana sorcery speed exile my creature? Can you cast a creature now? I don't understand why turn 2 wasn't creature from you. You're playing mono red. Does it even die? It doesn't even die. Alright. That was a terrible fucking turn for us. Another ramp card. Okay. Worlds in which he kills the Triome. Dude, we're so punished right now. No creatures on this board. I mean, I guess we have the idol, I guess. Doesn't really count. I can't awaken anything because there's nothing there. It's another land draw. We're just going to pass the turn and do fucking nothing because he refuses to resolve a creature with 2 or less power. It seems insane to me. It's really frustrating.
My pain.
So much do nothing here. This card needs to be out of my deck. I don't think I can support this card.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
To be honest, I called the problems with the deck. Yes, I can see the problems with the deck when I make the deck, but we're still playing draft, so we can't just fix the problems, right? We have limited selection. Hey! Does he have mana to pump it? No. Another land. The only creatures in our sideboard though are Gary.
You're going down.
I think I'm cutting Blood for Bones for Gary rather, but it's pretty unexciting. Can't believe we're gonna give him like 4 Chandra activations minimum. We're gonna die. We're gonna die to recurring Phoenixes and the rest of it. Feels bad. It's missing 1 card to rebirth this. Okay. Okay. He gets to rebirth the Phoenix. Its opponent, creature. Rebirth is 4. He can't pump even if he draws a land. So I can Kaya plus to keep it alive. Or I can just Kaya minus kill that. We're actually land shy of being able to attack with the idol. I think this is my only... So he hits this guy. So this comes back as 3. Smacks it for 3. I'm going to be at 6. So I'm going to end up trading Kaya for it. I could just leave Kaya because he's always going to play that, right? So maybe this is just not. Maybe this is just hit the Chandra this turn and pass. It feels so bad because we're doing so little. But I think every iteration of resolving the Planeswalker gets it blown up.
Enough!
Yeah. Maybe should have played this as a tap land. Certainly don't need 2 rebirth effects with 0 creatures in my graveyard. I love that he had just 1 mana exile for the skeleton. He has another exile effect too. I mean, we're going to 3 right now. It's pretty fucking bad. Can never play a creature again from haste. Kind of crazy we're so low. That's actually 2. We're going to 2. Because we haven't done anything this game. We've just sat here with our lands and our mana stones going like, hey, this is exciting. I'm glad we're in this game together. He's thinking about protecting Chandra here. That's interesting.
This'll be easy.
Wasn't thinking very hard about it though. Are we just dead now from this play? Yeah, we're 1 mana off. So I just lost the game by not developing Awakening last turn. By not counting my mana. Because I need to bait to minus the Phoenix and kill the Planeswalker, because the Planeswalker kills me. I kind of forgot that it was killing me. So here we're some clunky shit where I guess we have to poison the cup on his turn. We got to beat this down.
We're done here.
He can haste his own creature out, which is terrifying too. Alright, good. Does he have? He's got 1. We're at 1. Now when he puts his... He can't lava coil his own creature. So he's still a 1. Oh, but he can equip the axe and haste it though. So we're dead to that. If he sees it. He does. Alright, we lost this game. Opponent didn't win this game. We lost this game by not playing that tap land on that turn. I need Blood for Bones out of the deck. We hit all the fucking clunky interactions in the deck this deck could hit, right? None of our creatures, the guy having exile for the 1 recurring thing, just couldn't do anything for this entire game. Like, we didn't do anything. I spent 6 turns activating a fucking Guardian Idol, which is about as unpleasant as life gets. Card needs to come out. I have no good bodies in here. But I think I have to put in Gary, as much as I don't want to. I just have to have things that do things, which feels bad. Alright, that one's a loss on us, though. Played poorly, got punished. Feels good. Going first for the 3rd time. It's exciting. More life chat stuff. I like them. I'm not sure you can have endless content about that, right? So, yes and no. I like doing them, Scotty. Well, an exciting moment in time. We have our 4 drops, our 5 drops. Remember last game where we had all mana accelerants and 2 drops? Well, here we are. I don't even want to resolve this on the board. I guess I'm going to for mana efficiency. Like, maybe I can put a Kaya and like plus it or something one day.
You want to play with fire, huh?
Not even a good play here.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Kind of want to be killing creatures with this. Next turn we can get Sovereign. Does it matter if we tap here? It might. There's white mana there. Do I care about 1 damage here on an empty board? Maybe. Is there a haster that I'm going to be blocking with this? No. I'll get in for 1. I have nothing else to do with this card right now. It's actually kind of bad with the low creature. We have so many recurring creatures. We haven't had a Shade or a Dread Horde in their opening hand, right? That's the issue. Yeah. There are a few flash green creatures for sure. Could have done it pre-combat, I suppose. There's the 2 mana 2/2 guy. He wants to cast tokens, huh? 7 mana if we want it. 7 isn't any better than 5. I think this is just Kaya, remove the procession.
This'll be easy.
Death is inevitable. When I say go, you go.
We have not done a state of the channel in a long time. I guess we're going to have a kind of IRL stream in the near future, right? Because yesterday we hit streak goal of 5. So my wife's going to come on and we're going to talk relationships for a little bit. Not today, but in the near future. Probably next week sometime. I mean, our deck lines up, I guess, pretty poorly if they never cast a creature. Team C5, we can just sovereign it away. Is there a world in which I play something different here? So I'm at 2 mana if we plus Chandra. So we're at 7. But Sovereign plus Giant is 8, so that doesn't work. Okay.
You'll be fine.
Could minus with Chandra. Could just Gear Hulk the 2/2. It's maybe better than, it's another blocker. I don't hate it.
Today's my lucky day.
Another attacker. Probably a little bit better than the Sovereign here. Guess I could have plus that too if I was going to do it that way. Just didn't see that. I didn't see that until after I'd already committed the Kaya. For some reason I was stuck on Sovereign killing that as the best answer, but I like the blockers for the Planeswalkers. I like Chandra going off too, so if we can get, if I can emblem Chandra, I think we just win, right? Which is next turn. Stani Discordant, okay. Can he really afford to only attack 2 there? In what world is he living in? Where he doesn't think he has to kill Chandra. I just ult Chandra this turn and kill him. What? I mean, I can block and kill all of those. I don't give a shit about this attack with Fatal Push. But it just seemed crazy. Am I insane with him not triple attacking Chandra here? Like, is there any world in which that's not the play? I'm not even gonna, I mean, Priestess bounces to my hand, which is fine.
Gonna be bad for you.
I could just minus Kaya, kill fucking Tristani. Start just going face with everything. Is it 2 all in? We have the thing, every spell is 5 damage to wherever the hell we want. Why Fatal Push that was 5 damage? Yeah, maybe. Okay. So we can get in for 6 and then kill him. This lethal with Fatal Push. Maybe. Alright, so he's just dead again because he let us resolve these things. He's dead to our hand. I mean, if he pre-combats Tristani, I mean, what was it? Was there other stuff he did pre-combat there? 7 mana. What was he? What else did he play that turn? Not sure. Okay. I don't mind protecting my planeswalkers. You might be in a win more condition where maybe there's exact lethal over there, possibly, maybe. If I look at that, I'd have to look at the board again for that. I really don't mind protecting my planeswalkers though. Again, his attack is wrong. We should have been forced to fatal push there because he should have triple attacked Chandra because he can't beat Chandra Emblem. And he would have pushed 2 damage through to Chandra with that board state. Honestly, like when he made those attacks, like my mind just was like, what the fuck is happening? So I don't really know, man. Maybe we should have held, say, fatal push and let Kaya go and then just emblemed and killed him with fatal push, possibly. I mean, it's not like we don't have enough spells in our hand either. So I don't know what the hell that play was. All right. We're going first again. So our entire last run was going second. Our entire run this time is going first. That's the worst type of variance. I want my variance within games, not between games. Both our mana stones in hand. Okay. This was a mulligan? No, it wasn't. And calm the backseating down just a little bit, bro. Like just like maybe 1 notch down on your list of bad fucking telling me what to do thoughts. Just calm it down slightly. I guess we're naming black here. Is there any world in which we are idling plus light up the stage next turn? Sad world. Black's our removal. Expect him to do something at one point. I mean, that's not very doing things, is it? Okay. All right. This is definitely not a mulligan. We have lands and acceleration. We're a little missing some payoff cards, but we could potentially draw them. That is a possibility of things that can occur. So maybe just light up the stage now. We're going to be on 5 mana next turn. Could also just be idle. Idle pass kind of sucks. Opponent didn't play a creature. Maybe it should have been idle plus light up stage this turn. Could just run Murderous Rider out into this board, but it seems really bad. Okay. Opponent, nothing. Okay. Alright, not my favorite draw there. That's another reactive card. The last 2 opponents haven't played creatures, which makes it a little bit clunky for our deck here. I guess we're getting in with the fucking idol. If I get in with the idol and light up the stage, I probably want to play lands. So I guess this is just plains plus red mana, not black mana, red mana. Swing. Okay. There's Sigrid here, which is a pretty big blowout for us. Actually, I might fucking drop a land anyways. If we get Sigrided here, is there double white? There's not. Actually, that's a little bit less bad. Okay. I mean, Seal Away is fucking pretty bad too, honestly. Okay. Our reactive deck is getting massively punished by having nothing to react to. We have black, red up, Mythos up. We don't have green mana. So I kind of hope they resolve something here. I guess we do. Okay. Yeah, it's bad advice to mulligan when you have a playable hand with the correct mana base and some acceleration. It's just bad advice. Opponent refuses to play any cards. It's kind of fucking terrifying for us. Let's try to light up the stage, I guess. Ah, opponent, you're playing around my hand perfectly, huh? It's a fucking irritating experience, again. Triumph's not where I want to be. I'm happy to resolve Gary here. It's just some value. I could take another 3 for it. It's fine. No. I've been impressed by black instant speed removal spells, but the rest of the cube black is pretty unexciting. I feel like to play black regularly, I want to get the Witch of the Moors or whatever. That card's excellent. Alright, we have all the removal in the fucking world to deal with this stuff here. So I guess we start by swinging with Gary. Alright, do I have 4 black here? I'm at 3, so I can't do what I want to do, which is Murderous Rider plus play it out. I could just maul the guy away and then poison the cup, which is probably okay. Right, it's 1, 2, 3 black sources. I played Paper Magic? I have, yep. For Gary. No blocks. Mana of all colors, so it's another Golos player over here, right? Blue, white, green, black, red. He's got all the colors. This is a good draw here. Just gonna run that out. Okay. We have so much removal in this deck and so few threats. It's really kind of frustrating. We need to get our recurring 2-drops. We have 3 of them. 2 of which are actual beaters too. But we haven't drawn them in our opening hands yet. Haven't seen Shade at all. That card can beat us since I can't get through infinite lands, infinite 2-drops here. Which is a bit frustrating. I wonder if our Scry is worth it here or just develop the Rider. I feel like getting the Rider out as a creature is actually important here. What are we working with, opponent? Cleansing Nova, Hostage Taker, and Elspeth Conquers Death. What is it? CMC 3 for Elspeth? We're going to exile his graveyard anyways. Can I beat Nova? Maybe eventually I can beat Nova. Can I beat ECD? I doubt it. So what? We're going to try to push. I mean, this is another land card, so he gets another token here. I think I have to push into the board still. Let's get our damage. Alright, a Scry here is going to be nice. Do we have green off this card? No, it's white. Okay. I think green is strong in this format too. I actually hope he Hostage Takers me this turn, because I'd like to poison the cup and exile the Hostage Taker. Fortunately, it removes the token, huh? Is he gonna target the rider? Sick. So I keep my token is nice. Could have end stepped this. Do we have any creatures in our graveyard? Of course not. Is Valky any good? I can cast it as Tybalt. I guess Tybalt's okay. We are at 8 somehow. I think lifelinks though. I could remove it. Get him for 6. He's gonna sweeper though. I don't think he can crack back. What does this card do? You can steal cards off his library. And it costs how much mana? 7 mana for that? I have 3, 6, 7, 8, so I can't hold up removal and do this. Yeah, I could cast Tybalt and remove the creature. It might be best. I've never resolved this card before.
Trickery is just a hobby. Chaos is my I'll be taking
Last card, 4 mana draw card. Feels bad. Okay. Can I destroy Seal Away? Is it a permanent or creature? It's artifact or creature. I can't remove Seal Away. Nope. The Devil for the Planeswalker into Cleansing Nova into a draw card as his last thing. It's really frustrating. I don't know if I can kill him from here because he's going to have fucking land drops for 2/2s. A really strong series of plays from our opponent there. Didn't want to draw a land here. Opponent. Maybe I should have kept the Rebirth just under Valky in case he could remove the Planeswalker to bring it back. Is it all cards? Get an emblem. You may play cards exiled with Tybalt. So it's not all my exile cards, just cards I exile with that. Multiverse mana perfect for fucking end step multiverse into last card, by the way, into Bedevil Cleansing Nova to get rid of the threats on the board, into Explosion as his draw. This is not an exciting moment for me. Okay. Into 2 more tokens off of Expanse. Wow, I feel like this is our game the vast majority of these fucking times. I really hate this card right there. Field of Dead. Can I even take a turn here? I have to bait the block. I think I have to do this on his turn. Let him untap with 6 cards in his hand. But I'm probably dead to these 2/2s. Of course it's 2 creatures. It's 2 creatures, chat. Alright. Alright, game. That one was not... I don't think that was a mistake on our part. There was some question about which order to play the light up the stage early, but opponent just plays no creatures, then fucking drops Field of the Dead on fucking 7 lands and starts activating it with fucking sweepers and the rest of it. We had a decision about removing ECD versus the sweeper, but it felt like in that scenario I probably couldn't beat recurring shit from both of our graveyards with ECD removing my stuff, but maybe I could have. So maybe it was wrong to pick the ECD over the Cleansing Nova. But honestly, if my opponent just doesn't top deck a draw card that draws him another draw card that draws him lands to play out infinite creatures, we probably just win that. So I'm a bit salty about that. There we are. Okay. Field of the Dead, first card. Yeah, I know. Like last deck we match into all aggressive decks. This game it's all control decks. They don't play any creatures. It's pretty frustrating. I agree. Both my creatures attack through the zombie anyways. Maybe. The problem is. The idea with minusing the Tybalt is you clear his board so he can't counterattack your Planeswalker, and Planeswalkers are a little bit harder to deal with. Fuck off with this fucking shit. Sorry, as I was saying, the goal is to clear the board so that if he can't block my creatures anyways, he's not going to be blocking. I don't want him counterattacking and doing damage to my Planeswalker for no reason. So. This is so annoying to have that card removed there. So what, poison the cup without fucking foretelling it? I can just take another one, I guess. Could wait till his end step, remove it, I guess, too. See what he plays. I don't think I get to foretell that because the mana's too clunky. I'd like a clean board for Chandra, or at least only one creature so I can minus and still get value. We need the Scry? I don't know if we need the Scry. Just kind of want a board that I can play Chandra onto. Pass. No? That's a fucking card. I don't have second red source for Chandra. I don't have second red source for Chandra. Shit. Okay. Didn't notice that. I hate doing this now. I don't want to instant speed removal when he's got Helm on the board, but I need to draw cards now because I got to get red source. Oh, that feels so bad. Okay. Swamp, 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 Field of the Dead. I feel like he's missing how that card works, but I could be wrong. Maybe I should let it tap white land instead of that, so I can hit him with the 2/2 if I want, because he can tap it anyways. Okay.
You want to go, tough guy? Yup, you're going down.
Could have discard over there. Kind of need my lands. Don't need it that badly. Have village rights in hand. This could be discard though. I think I pass. Okay. At 12. That's nice. That means he's not connecting something with the helm. I want to see him play out 7 different lands of different names. So far he's at 4, counting field. Wait, this is his end step. Is he gonna tap my white mana on his end step? That's exciting. Okay. Ha! The one white card on my deck and he actually got rewarded for that. It's hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Okay.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
I could get in for 2 off this. Better or worse than just resolving? I think it's better to resolve Gary. It's a beater next turn, I guess. Oh, I don't have the mana for this. Fuck. I thought I was able to keep black mana open, but I'm not. Is that better then? I don't hate 2 to his face. His Icy's tapped because he tapped my land. Can always Gary later. Wait, why did it end my turn? That was during the attack. Why the fuck is my turn over? It's a sorcery. Doesn't answer anything. I attacked him during my attack phase and he removed my creature, which I sacrificed. Feed the swarm. Oh, it doesn't hit. Oh, I see. It doesn't hit artifacts. I was thinking it hit artifacts, but it's just enchantments. That's fine. For some reason, I was thinking this hit artifacts, which is why I'm like, why the hell is the turn ending?
Yup, you're going down.
Wait, it doesn't result. Oh, because there's no devotion when it comes into play. That's funny. Okay. Maybe we presumably just kill him with Chandra ult here now. Doesn't that go Planeswalkers? Oh, did he top deck removal? No, he didn't. Okay.
Sit back and watch it burn.
I think I can Eldritch Nightmare and kill it myself to kill him. It's an enchantment opponent controls. Wow. Way to be not flexible, feed. Alright. I wasn't expecting it to be an opponent, a term permanent that opponent controls. I just assumed it would be any creature or enchantment. So. Chandra is, this is 2 wins off Chandra ult. Which is why it's in the deck. Opponent didn't really do anything this game, did he? I'm not going to resolve Kai. I'm just going to let him tap my planes for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm going to cast the spell and win the game. How do we feel about this? Can you gain any life there? I don't see any life gain. Okay. He does count his own devotion on ETB, but the effect resolves after the resolution of that effect is also counting it. So he kills it in response to me casting it, which means that Gary's not on the board when it actually resolves the drain, which means I have 0 devotion to black when it resolves. He had the worm for 5 turns. He didn't. He just drew that, I think, the turn before. It's a bummer not to have. We're going second. It's a bummer we don't have a untapped black source here, because it fucks up my whole curve with Dread Wanderer. Yeah, no big deal, Wayne Star. Just explaining what happened there. Never. Didn't have a chat. Okay. Early, I mean, we have a Shade in this deck. We haven't seen him at all. It's a card you'd like to see early. I'm not at all convinced recurring resembling skeleton does anything here. Maybe it's just another beater. I don't really need the cold hard out either, although I kind of want double black next turn. I kind of want to save that for white mana. I think I just run out skeleton. We're not that far off double black, and we can't tutor white. Field and mono black was kind of weird. Agreed. CMC, power. Fuck. I mean, I guess technically that hits it. Would have preferred to Murderous Rider that. Don't swamp out yet. Okay.
Saved the monster for you.
I'm glad, Chad. He's on 4 mana. These are all pretty scary. Wake makes more mana. And is his first 5-drop. I think we'll take that. Okay. Fatal Push is a good draw here. I think I'm happy to push the 1/1, kill the Planeswalker.
We took too many risks.
Okay. Did draw a land, which is a bit of a bummer. That gives him 6 with the Iowan games next turn. 6 is resolve this, resolve the next card in his hand too, potentially. So he's at 12. He's not at 8. He's no cards in his graveyard. These cards are not super threatening right now. I think this is just resolve fucking Sovereign onto this board, huh? I only have 5 mana, so I can't do Gear Hulk. I still wouldn't mind removal. I can crew this next turn. Seems fine. It's a difficult to remove flyer that deals 6 damage and kills a creature. So it's all on what he top decked, because he can... Oh, he top decked land, so he's actually on 7 now. So now he gets to play Pharaoh's Tomb if he wants, but not Overwhelming Splendor. What does this mean, chat, when for crewing vehicles? Does this mean when I crew it, it becomes a 1/1? So I only have 2 black mana, so I can't double spell Rider and Priest. And I can crew Sovereign with Skeleton and do 8 to him. Or I can do 6 to him. 7 to him, I guess. I feel like resolving Priest on this board is insanely good. So I think this is Priest. Swing with Skyship, be done. This can do damage to his face if he doesn't resolve the thing as 1/1. If he does resolve the thing as 1/1, he's dead on board to 3 1/1s, right? Because he's at 3. So I think this is my play. He's at 2, actually. Go. Can I crew it with Curse active? It's crew 3. Presumably yes. It's not a creature until it converts, right? And then it gets minused. Alright, so the removal kind of blew him up. We had really good answers to what he put out. He had scary top game, but he drew all of his top decks there. He drew all of his late game in that hand and didn't get there. I don't know. I felt like I just bullied a man there. I like hand knowledge in this format too. Maybe should have. I mean, we didn't have the priest at the time, but we did have black spells in hand. Ugh. Okay. So I'd really like to Guardian Idol then double spell, but I don't have double black right now, so there's no guarantee I can do that. So it's probably just Valky here. That is double black, but I can't do it next turn because it will comes into play tapped, right? So I think this is just Valky. We actually get in with the Thief of Sanity hit next turn if we want. Is that black mana? It is. So I get the card even if Thief dies. So I think I'm just going to convert and hit him. So I exile one, I put the rest in his graveyard, right? I think he's got graveyard recursion with a deck like this. I can't cast Obliterator, it's 5 black chat, we're nowhere near that. Oh, I don't need the color, fuck. I missed that. Probably would have taken the Obliterator then. But I did miss the fact I didn't need the color. Yep. Thinking I couldn't cast it. Yeah, could have happily taken a 5/5 that. I mean, there's a lot of killing removal in this format, but. Huh. Did I let stupid Thief hit me? Seems crazy. So I've got 6 mana. All my spells combined are more than that. I can try to run out the Phoenix as a blocker. It's a bit scary. Could just kill it, it's true. Am I trying to get sweeper effects? Maybe. Can Phoenix and Idol and sack Idol? Phoenix doesn't return till later, and I don't have the mana to activate Idol, right? Can't cast Phoenix and activate Idol. It's 7 mana. I only have 6 because I can't use this for mana, so I'd need 6 over here, or this counting that would be 7, so it's 1 off anyways. Oh, I can tap it because it doesn't tap it. It's true. I think I'm just killing it. Which one? That one. I'm worried about my fucking timing here. It's not a super exciting play there. I'm kind of a little tilty about the fact I missed this, being able to play that. So it's too scary to let Thief connect, right? And I don't really want to put Phoenix in the graveyard when he has return. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Now I'm much more willing to put that on there. We could get this token. I think this is a better play now. So alright, we run this out and run out Skeleton. Eat the 2. eat his guy. We can end step it. Do I want my... Do you think he's got more graveyard hate? Seems unlikely. Oh, he can remove egg. That's true. Actually, kind of missed that. Okay. Can remove egg. It's true. Actually, kind of missed the fact he could remove egg. I don't know. Maybe there might be some punts going on over here, chat. Just one or two in a row. You know, missing the good recursion card, etc. Here. Do I want to draw or do I want to hit with this? We've got to do some damage. What does this card do? It's another bounce. Okay. I don't hate idle into a dude. Swing. Light up the stage. Ooh, double 6-drop sucks. 5 and a 6-drop. It's brutal. Okay. I probably should have done the exact same thing I did last turn, the turn with the Phoenix, except just not sack the Phoenix on that turn. Just waited till his end step. We wouldn't be able to utilize the mana as efficiently, but we might have been able to for sacking Skeleton. I think there's no reason to do it in my main phase is the problem. Merchant next turn. I think I'd rather Gear Hulk, but he may not play a creature. This like exiles too, so I'm going to lose access to my stuff here, which sucks. Big misplay on the Phoenix turn. This card we stole has been useless too. Misplays for days. What can I say? I wonder if sacking for another card here was actually worth it too. Like activate, double sack, recur Skeleton off that. It probably was. I trade idle for 2 damage to his face and a card. Might have been worth it too. Okay. I got excited about the Phoenix recursion, but the Phoenix recursion isn't every upkeep, it's just my upkeep. So what does he have? Counterspell as well? This card not being exiled is going to come back and bite me, huh? So he knows about the Gear Hulk. So this is a counterspell. But I can't double spell to remove it anyways. So I always Gear Hulk and get it countered. And then take 5. What? I'm confused, chat.
Seize the day, my minions.
I mean, I've already punted at least twice this game. Maybe he punts too.
Death embrace you.
I mean, I always kill Lily here. I think it's Shade. Too bad this comes into play tapped.
I'm a survivor.
I can kick this if I cast it later. I'm okay with this as it is too. Just get a recurring threat down. It's not like I care if it dies. Could have swung there 2 to the face and played Shade as a 5 next turn. Hopefully he draws a small creature that we can blow up. Folio? It's kind of weird. It's a next turn removal. It's fine. Feed hits enchantments. I could just remove that. Seems fine. This is a bounce for 5. So here I think we just want to get in. Okay. He's got a lot of mana. Folio's a little scary. I can't remove artifacts, so it doesn't really matter. I can only remove enchantments. Thing is, I maybe want to hold feed here. I have enough mana to Elspeth's Nightmare plus feed. Next turn, he gets a 1/1, but I can Nightmare that away. I might need feed for a bigger blocker, and we might be able to kill him. He might beat us with Folio with this much mana if we get another turn for him. So I'm just gonna run out actually Cold Heart here. I guess as a white source, since I can already resolve both of those. Can't mill fast enough. It's hand size. And it draws me cards. It's a pretty big mill. Again, I already beat the Dreadhorde invasion though. Like, we have lethal attackers for his 1/1 if he wants to do that. So I feel like having the removal for whatever else is fine. Yeah, he's super low. I mean, we didn't lose any damage taking this line, right? Oh yeah, that's a good point. The Dreadhorde drains him too, so he's even lower. Yep. So removing that maybe is still smart not to. What does Awakening do for us? Phoenix. 3 mana. We don't have 3 black, so I can't cast it. This is black though. So I could 4 mana this. So I can bring back 2 of my creatures. The Phoenix and the Priest. Is that better than just pressuring him here? I don't think so. Do that next turn. So I think we just activate and kill him, right? He blocks the 3/3, takes 3, drains out to his own thing. Seems okay. I don't need instant speed interactions. I don't have any. Let's just do that. They have a 5 mana bounce. It's true. I can shock this in, right? That's a untap land anyways. Did you just cycle instead of bouncing? Okay. That's your decision, friend. All right. He makes mistakes. I make mistakes. It washes out. Okay. Bounce is a sorcery? That's a sorcery bounce? Seriously? It's a flashback 5 mana sorcery bounce? Fuck that card. Wow. Is the first half not sorcery at least? All right, payout for those of you who bet on me. Think we can get 6 with this deck? Predictions up. What is the card? So we can look at it. I guess I guess I'll probably never see it again, but I am now curious if he just punted there or if it was. Doing better than we expected. We've been going first a lot. And our opponents are a lot less synergetic decks than our first round of opponents. Our first round of opponents had insanely synergetic decks and then just all went first. So, silent departure. Thanks. It is a sorcery. It's a sorcery unsummon. Ew. Okay. No black mana. Draw to get there, acceleration and colorless. All right. Going second. 1 drop. Feels bad. Not a... Okay. Not a good fucking turn to have, to be slow here. The last opponents have been slow. Going second versus 1 drop, 2 drop with a recurring threat with Priest is pretty nasty. So no black mana. Are we playing the game or are we not playing the game? I guess this is not playing the game. They have a curve on their part and we're missing lands. Like, welcome to like a huge percentage of your Magic games. Kind of sucks is all. What do we even play here? Feed into Priest. Is it Lyra? I'd have exiled the rock there. So I'm missing black sources. We can Gear Hulk next turn. It drains us life. So we can remove Priest twice, for example. Rider hit Planeswalkers. It drains me for 2. It does hit Planeswalkers. Murder Kaya? If I murder Kaya, it's 2 black. I take 2 more damage. I go to 7. He's got 4 power on the board, and this thing drains me for 2, which puts me at 1 with no other interaction. I can't play any second spell if I murder, although I can poison the cup. I just don't know if I can stabilize off that. Next turn is going to be fucking Gear Hulk into what? Giving him a token for 2 life? It's pretty bad. I can't even do that. He's going to hold fucking mana up to sack this next turn, so I can't even drain my life because it would be invulnerable to it. I think that's a losing line. I think I have to fucking feed the Swarm the 1/2 and play out Priest of the Forgotten Gods as a blocker. We get Kayat again for infinite value, but we can kill it next turn. I mean, I can't even hold up mana, so if I Rider, I can't even block with the Guardian Idol. Actually, maybe it's there. I'm not thrilled with any of my fucking options here. I guess if I'm setting up for Gear Hulk next turn to kill Priest, I need to make sure Priest can die so I can get my life and get my blocker. Kaya is so fucking scary over there for sure. I can kill it later if I get the health. The problem is black mana here, right? Like if I play Rider, I literally do nothing else at all. So all of these lines suck. And maybe it shouldn't be the 1/1, but it was 1 less damage to kill that, and it's already going to protect this guy, and it gives him a token back if I kill that one now. So I'm not sure which of these targets I really want to kill for that. Well, missing black mana versus a strong line from our opponent is certainly hurting us, for sure. See if I playing around fucking Gear Hulk here. So I'm dead to board. I have to remove things. I could play out Grey Merchant, but it's pretty unexciting here. So I think I have to kill Rankle. I go to 2. Wait, that does 2. I go to, 2. Yeah. 2. Maybe we had to poison the cup instead of this. But this lets me, if I get another black source, do something else, right? I guess not next turn. Next turn is Gear Hulk every time, right? Kaya's gonna maybe value us, but I'm gonna get tempoed if I don't get valued. It's like, well, die to tempo or die to value. Choose your poison. Maybe with the swamp here, I open up Poison the Cup plus Murderous Rider as a life linker. Maybe that's a thing. But probably not. Alright, this was black mana. We do get removal here. Removal gets exiled. If I eat one of his creatures, I gain the life. It leaves a token. So token always hits me. I always go to 1. I go up to 3 if I eat that one. Up to 2 if I don't. I can't leave this one alive. It has to be. So I eat that. I go to 4. Gets a token left. Token, he exiles my creature. Gets him for 3. I'm at 1. Maybe I can drain out of it later. Poison Cup on his upkeep. That's interesting. So if we don't go Gear Hulk here, what are we trying to do? We're trying to Murderous Rider. Murderous Rider gets exiled and doesn't gain me any life on ETB. I don't think that's good enough. I'm just dead to the board, right? I'd murder this then. So he doesn't get to attack me with a token. I get 1 extra turn. I guess. It's pretty fucking weak though. We can't remove Kaya with that. It's got to be the 2-1, right? I'm just dead to Priest, though, if I 2-1 this. I'm dead all these ways. This is a terrible line. Because any creature now kills me with Priest. Including recasting the Dread Wanderer. This is a loss. He doesn't have to minus. If he minuses, I just die to the Priest effect. Should have fucking Gear Hulk the Priest. Yeah, if I remove Priest... Yeah, but if I remove Priest, he just exiles my 2/3 blocker and hits me for 2 and I die. Like, that doesn't work. I don't know why I got talked into this line. We can't Gear Hulk it next turn. There's no next turn. Had to be Gear Hulk. I mean, he's got onboard lethal here.
It's the least.
Yeah. I maybe there's a line we get another turn. Like maybe there's a line I get 1 more turn out of this. But I doubt we beat that, right? Like Kaya with recurring annoying creatures with a fucking curve like that, missing our swamps. It's pretty painful. All right. I took your line, Sui, because I was sitting there going like, I'm not sure my line is good enough. And I'm like, maybe there's a better line. But I think the line I had got us there 1 more turn. So anyways. All right, took 5 with that deck. I think that's fine. That deck was kind of medium bad. I'm going to grab food and water, and then we will draft again. So I'll be back in more than 5 and less than 10. See you guys shortly. Hey guys, I'm back. All right. All right. Pack one, pick one. Okay. There's probably conversation to be ahead of here, but I don't know what the conversation is. Priest is fine, really susceptible to removal. Simulacrum is fine. It's kind of an expensive body for what it does. Cloudblazer wants some super greedy recursion deck. This card is very nice in a green beater deck as just value. This card has been pretty good, but this card wins games. So, confirm. Interesting. A lot of options here actually to combo with this. We could try to be greedy, in which case Doomscar is excellent. No one has played around a sweeper that I've ever encountered so far. So part of me is kind of like we could slam Doomscar into this deck. We play them both. Double white's expensive. If we want to go lower to the ground, Clarion Spirit's pretty nice. Depends if we want to be, I mean, that's the decision, how aggressive do we wish to be. The red cards are okay too. The rest of the cards in the pack are pretty bad. I haven't played this card yet, or only like once. This card seems very good if you're white weenies, otherwise not so great. I guess this is the more flexible pick. We leave ourselves open to still playing white weenies and just not playing this card, or building a control deck where this card only fits in a white weenie deck pretty much. We'll try Doomscar. Settle for our second sweeper. A Dryad's pretty good. Shark Typhoon is excellent. Works really well in a Dirtle deck. We can find other win cons besides Dryad. I was just thinking how nicely that worked with this type of stuff. So maybe we wheel Settle. Maybe we wheel Dryad. Maybe we wheel like Unbarrel Rights and figure out some synergy. Maybe we just take the duels later. I think this is Shark Typhoon. So we're now moving towards Dirtle, which is good sometimes. Mind Stone's a really valuable card. I don't hate the Triome. The green's not very exciting at all. I remember what this card does. I don't think I've ever seen this card. 4 mana, 3/4 mana, the top card. Cast creature spells, spend mana. No, we don't give a fuck about that card. Okay, take the Mind Stone and be happy. It's not that Settle is not bad. It's not good, rather. It's just that our Shark Typhoon is way better than Settle. Settle is situational, sometimes blowout, sometimes just kind of whatever. People can play around Settle fairly reasonably if you leave a bunch of mana open and don't ever make any don't cast any spells. Typhoon is just really good. Sometimes you resolve it and win the game. Sometimes you get a 2-for-1. Sometimes you just fix your shit with it. Huh. So I'm looking at Explore and I'm looking at Seraph. There's also a Triome. Nothing else in this pack is very exciting. The Commit to Memory is all right. That card's not playable, and I don't think that card's playable either. I mean, I'm sorry, this card is just fine, which is not in the deck that we're building. Field of the Ruin for Field of the Dead. I think it's too aggressive. Could very easily be Triome over Explore here. We'll grab Explore. Acceleration with card draw is really nice. So another 2-drop Accelerant. I really like these cards, to the point I sometimes overdraft them. But getting mana when we have sweepers and clunky shit, and getting mana that doesn't die to our own sweepers is fucking clutch. Okay. Alright, we have a Spring to Mind, which I like. I have Willowhaven, which is another Accelerant that doesn't fuck with our... it doesn't leave creatures on the board. It has a little bit worse of an upside. But there's other fixers that do this. I don't mind getting more Accelerants in the colors that I want to play early. We'll find our win cons later. I'm getting a bit worried about lands because we keep picking non-land cards because we keep getting offered fucking great shit for Accelerants. So there's fixing here, but I don't really want this when I already have 4 other 2-drops that are better than this. There's Tutelage as a win con, which is a maybe. This card's really unexciting for this deck. And then there's Archive. I could take either. I could take either of these. We have to do something with our mana one day. Maybe it's cast a million angels. Maybe it isn't. Tutelage is really solid, but I don't know if we're blue yet. Maybe should have gone tutelage there. I'm conflicted about that pick. Red green dual, green mutate, card that doesn't care. This is a payoff for having a fuck ton of mana. Card that heals us, gains us some life, draws us some cards. I'm okay with that, but I'm not excited by it. We are green enough that I could Brontodon too, just to fuck with some it's double green. But fucking with enchantments is sometimes good enough. Alright, there's a Terramander, a Storm Rider, a blue-green dual, and a Growth Spiral. Huh, Growth Spiral is interesting. I'll take the green-blue dual. We need to get some fixing in this deck. Lotus as another thing. Red-green, black-green, Chart a Course. Okay, we now have all the acceleration. This is pack 1. It's not a bad pack to get all the acceleration in, because presumably afterwards we will get some other things. We ramping, indeed. Octopus, Veil, or Silent Departure. Octopus. White-green dual. We know we're playing white. We know we're playing green. I'll take the fixing for that. A Neutralize is actually okay. I don't often play counter spells in this format, but that one's fine. All right, so what do we pick up here? Green Seeker is a 2-drop. We have pretty good 2-drops. Green Seeker is a little slow in this format. There's a lot of removal. There's a blue-white dual. There's a Scholar. There's another board clear that's also a land, which is kind of rough. There's a Teferi over there. Kind of feels like the deck that might play that Teferi. It's a Karn. Do you have a lot of ramp for Scholar? Do we have targets for Scholar? What are we going to do? Like Doomscar? We're going to like Scholar into a 4/4 or Scholar into a Doomscar? We could try to find something for that. Sometimes that card wheels. I haven't really played with this card. Card is clearer how to use. It's artifact too, though. Ah, we'll take it. I forget it's an artifact. It's instant sorcerer artifact. It's a big dude to ramp into. Tends to win games. Can do some synergies with bouncing humans if we get them later. That's okay. Drawing cards off our rocks is okay, but it's only the 3-mana rock, so of which we have 2. There's a Vivian, which has minusing when it comes into play in this field, but it's pretty bad versus a overrun board. And there's Giant Killer, which isn't bad here either. Dirtle. Remove creatures. Might be better in Kogla, honestly. Although this effect, ramping into this effect and then beating the shit out of something is kind of nice. Let's take the Giant Killer. Great Henge is passed to me. We're so far away from a creature deck. Fuck! Henge is like amazing. White blue dual, beater, bag of holding, Henge. What are we playing with Henge though? We have 1 creature thus far. We can't play Henge. Damn, it's too bad. The card is so good. The card is so good. I want it. I mean, I guess there's a Rune Crab here for the mill plan. Maybe wheel the dual. We might be on mill plan right now. It's a cheap blocker too. I'll take the crab. It's a threat. Bind, ooze, goose, more ramp. We ramp to infinity. But why? What are we doing with that exactly? Heals us? I kind of like ooze here. Mimic's good too for later stuff. Gear Hulk's excellent. I think I take this, hope to wheel goose or ooze, but don't expect to see it. Take an extra turn. Seems like the type of dirty shit we're trying to do in this deck. Kind of want to run to hold the multiverse. Any chance we're gonna wheel that Epiphany, you think? Pretty sure this exiles itself. So you can't take extra turns there. I want to take the Hold the Multiverse over that. It's close for me. Mythos is super kind of in what this deck wants to be doing. Do we have things we can do too? I mean, yeah. What is Mythos our Scholar and recast Mythos? Does it resolve that way? I think it does. I think this effect resolves. It clones the thing, then the ETB triggers, and then we get to cast Mythos again. Can we we can drain our graveyard of sorceries and instants with Mythos and Scholar? We just cast them all? Oh, not all of them, because we won't be able to recast Mythos more than once, I see. Alright, Tristani in here, Mentor of the Meek in there. Tristani is actually okay. It holds up the board a little bit. It's white-green. We can play it. There's white-green fixing as a tap land and blue-green fixing as a shock land. Tristani's okay here. Its body's on the board with lifelink, although the Anthem effect's pretty weak. I don't mind the fixing. Rashmi has been good in my opinion, but maybe too much here. I don't hate this guy. Generates tokens. Card's super strong. Just go off with that card. Intervention's okay as well. Already have one counter that we're likely playing. Helm Dryad, Glacial Fortress. Another sweeper. All non-land permanents is not what I want to be destroying. I don't want a Shambler. Don't want a Najani. Helm is insanely greedy in this deck. We have 1,000,000 mana though. We could do it. Greenseeker's okay too. I'm fine with the fixing. We'll find other cards. I don't want a Monument. I don't want a Censor. I don't want white-black duels. I don't want blue-black duels. Do I want Karuga? CMC 3. So we have like 2 permanents that trigger that? Maybe. Bag Wheel. There's a white-blue splash. There's a Search Land. Or probably a bag deck. Okay. Find the monster. Cheap removal. Kinda. Lantern for hate. Mouth to Feed for creature tokens. I don't hate Mouth to Feed here. Probably not playing it, but we'll see. Into the Royal. It's actually a card that I'm sleeping on, since it's essentially the Blink Kicker from Dominaria one. I don't remember what it's called. Blink to Hand or Blink to Eye or Blink of the Eye or something like that. There's Kaya. We're already splashing white. We could try to fit black in. We have some colorless fixing, although not a lot. Just the one piece, and we're not sure if we're playing it yet. There's a Lay Claim. That's a payoff card for ramping in our colors, which seems reasonable. There's a Visionary early, which I'd love. Do you think Lay Claim will wheel, chat? This is a ramp payoff for us, although it may not be a strong enough ramp payoff versus like a Horde deck. I have a lot of 2-mana accelerations. Card's a little less good there. Maybe it will wheel. I see it wheel occasionally, which always blows my mind. I think we're taking Lay Claim. Starting to figure out how we win this game. Removal would be a thing too. White Planeswalker we can't really play. Lavoya is fine. If we have a lot of mana, we can create tokens. Not good though. Black, green, white, green, tap. Glass Casket as pretty cheap removal. Could be okay. We don't have a shit ton of white sources though. It's a bad pack for us. Alright, Tezzeret, Thief, Sprite, Crippling Fear, Azcanta, Tezzeret. Is this fucking Azcanta? I don't have fixing. Like, I have a shit ton of colorless acceleration, but I don't have fixing, so this card gets a lot, like, the cards I'd normally consider playing here get a lot worse. Not very excited about this card though. I mean, Tezzeret draws us 1,000,000 cards. Do we win off that though? Supreme Will's okay. Hieroglyphic's okay. Sigrid okay. Hard to play. Caravan is more ramp. we need some cards that aren't ramp. We've drawn the ramp cards. Now we need the payoffs. I guess Supreme Will. Sigurd's removal. Sigurd's double white in a deck that is splashing white. It's quite hard for us to play. Realm Cloak Giant seems good here. I don't hate Thrix. I don't hate the castle, but I think this is a card we want to play. It's double white. Would love to get one more fixing for that. Blue-green dual is okay. I don't love Thirst. Although we do have artifacts to discard. I think I'll take the blue-green fixer. Maybe we end up playing a Plains or 3. Bird God. I can play Bird God. 5 mana. Okay. Seems to be very light on interaction right now. Caravan's a 5/5. It's 5/5 if I can crew it. See many creatures in this deck? It's crew 3 as well. Essence Scatter versus Rebuilding. I think I take the Rebuilding. I think Rebuilding's too slow for this format. We need something that interacts here. Warrant Warden is kind of nice for this deck. Don't mind a 4/4 beater. Green, red, green. Okay, we'll take these. Negate's okay as well. I'll take this. I haven't played this much. Green, red, white, green. It's another source. It doesn't cost us. I mean, it costs us a tap. Castle Vantress is okay. I don't like Think Twice, although it's okay. I think I'll take the fixing. Thief of Sanity and Thoughtseizer here because people are crazy. I'm going to take Evolving Wilds and get a Plains in this deck. Caravan, Hieroglyph of Illumination, and Niv and Illyrios wield. He's not a bad board. Cultivator's okay. I think I like Cultivator a lot, but I don't think I like it in this deck. That's a large green spell. I don't think it wins the game when I cast it though. I think it just annoys me. And a Thirst over a Blossoming Defense. Do we want a Blossoming Defense? It's kind of a weird card to play in a deck without any creatures. Evolving Escape to the Wilds, last pick. It's so crazy. It's so crazy what you see in these drafts. There's a million decisions there that could have gone differently, for sure. All right, so what are we looking to do? We're looking to 2-mana Accelerate into some stall. This card has synergies with the Teferi one. We should have drafted that Teferi one. I don't remember what I took over Teferi's tutelage. It might have been Scholar. I don't remember what the fuck I took. It might have been Giant Killer. I can't remember what I took, but I wish I'd taken the tutelage now. Start looking at what we don't want in this deck. Kuruga maybe. Change the same mode more than once. 7 mana, 2/2s. Target non-land permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Target permanent card, proliferate, gain 4 life. That's really bad, huh? Okay. Hedron Archive over tutelage. That was a mistake of epic proportions. All right, I don't know about this guy. We'll see in a second. I don't hate him as a 2/3 blocker, honestly. For 2, could look at him as a 2-drop. We're playing Doomscar, we're playing Starnheim. I don't know if we can, I mean, we have a lot of white splash, right? So we might be able to play Giant Killer. It's a really situational card anyway, so we don't have to cast it on 1. And we have 3 white sources that are 4 white sources